how long they should sleep
Right.
on average.
On average, yeah. Sleep over 9 hours. It's probably indicative of some other problem because cancer, it could be sleep apnea, that affects a lot of people.
I want to get back to the contour of a perfect night's sleep, but I'm intrigued by this idea that people can't oversleep. I'm often asked whether or not we can get too much sleep and whether or not sleeping too long can make us groggy the next day. Is there anything to that? And how does one determine how long they should sleep on average?
On average, yeah. Well, that's interesting because different people seem to need different amounts of sleep, but we don't really even know exactly what sleep is for. So what they need is, it's murky. So we do know a lot of things that sleep does now for us, but we don't know how long those things take. So how long we need to sleep is also just a big question mark. But some people don't feel rested until they've slept 9 hours. And some people don't feel rested after 3 or 4.5. But most people, if they consistently deprive themselves of sleep so that they're only sleeping 4.5 hours a night, build up a cognitive deficit that just builds up over time. The more nights you have with sleep deprivation, the more cognitive deficit you have. And so you need sleep, again, to sleep more to recover. Now, the question you had about... Can you oversleep?
Can you sleep to the point where it's too much? Growing up, when I was in high school, my girlfriend's dad had this belief that no one should sleep in past 6 a.m. So he'd wake there were 2 children in that home. He would wake up the kids in that house. He had this thing against oversleeping, regardless of when people went to sleep. And I always thought that was an interesting mentality.
Yeah, it's not terrible, actually, because what will do is it'll make you sleepier the next night to get to bed on time. So it'll build up your homeostatic need if you wake up too early. But so I don't think you can oversleep, but people who sleep a lot, like people who sleep over 9 hours, it's probably indicative of some other problem because, in fact, if you have a lot of different conditions, it will cause you to sleep a lot more, probably because what it does is it interferes with your efficient sleep, the efficiency of your sleep. So if you find yourself sleeping consistently 9 hours plus every night, then you might want to consult a doctor about maybe what else it might be. It could be cancer. It could be sleep apnea, that affects a lot of people. It could be that your sleep is super inefficient because you're snoring a lot more than you know, or you're waking up a lot more than you know every night. So you might want to sleep study just to see how your sleep is and then see what else might be causing you to sleep so much.
And that wouldn't be if somebody is sleeping 9 or 10 hours every once in a while. You mean if they're consistently sleeping for more than 9 hours?
If they feel like they need it in order to function cognitively the next day, it might be that your sleep is just not efficient, and you might want to look into why that's the case.
Interesting. Enhanced volume or proportion of rapid eye movement sleep in the second half of the night relates to more elaborate dreams. We are paralyzed during REM sleep, correct?
Yes, normally paralyzed, and that's really good because that's the time when we're actively dreaming storyline dreams, and we could hurt ourselves. We're actually really cut off from the outside world in terms of, responding to, say, this table or a window or a door. And so different from sleepwalking, which is out of slow wave sleep. And out of slow wave sleep, that sleepwalking is a mixture between sleep and wakefulness. So you actually will respond to the door. You can cook a full meal, drive your car while you're in deep slow wave sleep. It's scary because you never know what you're going to do. You don't have voluntary control over it. You have no conscious control over it, but you can actually safely navigate some situations in sleepwalking and actually have a conversation, although it may not make much sense when you're sleep talking. In REM sleep, you're not processing the outside world. And instead, when you're acting out your dreams, you could be doing things like walking through a plate glass window or falling off of, down the stairs, things like that. So you really want your muscles to be inactivated during REM sleep. Otherwise, you will act out those dreams and really hurt yourself or your bed partner.
What about sleep talking? or talking in sleep. I don't know how many relationships have been saved by sleep talking, but I'm guessing a few have been destroyed. And I'm guessing that talking in sleep could have meaning or perhaps has no meaning, just as dreams could have meaning or no meaning as we recall them.
Do not take sleep talking seriously. No matter what people say, it doesn't necessarily reflect truth. So it's not like you're being more truthful when you're sleep talking.
You just saved a number of relationships.
I hope so.